Just imagine. And as messy as Drake is right now, I can almost bet that there's somebody that wants to turn his faucet off. Because if y'all think Diddy is a mess, Drake, he was being groomed to be next in line, see? What happens when the real details of what happened to XXX come out?
Real life. If it ain't real life, just say real life street Starz. Know what time it is.
Now everybody knows in the backdrop, Sean Carter, that you promised the South that the next time the Super Bowl came through, it would be a Louisiana affair. And then when Diddy goes and gets into trouble and you need to convince the white people you're still in control, you bring Kendrick Lamar, who we already know you don't like for the way he embarrassed you on Don't Kill My Vibe, the remix. But we also know you got ties in TDE, Sean Carter, and you got a switch on top. I know that. I know that for a fact. Just like why you keep having artists that want to jump off of high places. Shout out to Ab Soul.
Oh.
What was her name? Alori Joe?
Oh.
That woman threw herself from a control tower and impaled herself with spikes right before she was about to sign the TDE. And her fiance, Ab Soul, threw himself off the freeway out of grief and survived.
Mm-hmm.
Why are all of the artists at TDE so unhappy? You got some of the best artists in the West there. Why did Kendrick Lamar feel the need to leave and start his own? And why is he able to release more records now that he's not at TDE?
So
interesting.
Let me ask you, as you're on this topic.
I'll tell you one thing, Curtis Jackson, you are a setup king. And I promise you this, any little nigga that you're enlisting to go down to New Orleans and start trouble during the Super Bowl, that will stop. That will stop. I'm sick and tired of you. And the truth is, they only like you for your money.
Let me ask you, Jack, on a surface level, you're saying that Kendrick being in the Super Bowl versus, let's say, Wayne, which was like a shoe-in for the city, that in the background, and again, we talked about the mayor, it's a lot more to it than just as simple as, oh, Kendrick's he had a great year.
Social engineering, creating an issue that didn't need to be an issue.
I hear that. Hunger Games like.
Very Hunger Games. Life imitates art. Art imitates life. I tell you one thing, it's been almost 30 years since Biggie and Tupac were taken from us. That was social engineering at its finest. It got people in line, didn't it?
Without question.
Now you think about Drake right now, and you think about Kendrick Lamar. That's looking about the same as Biggie, Kendrick. Biggie, Kendrick, Tupac, Drake. Think about the comparisons.
Yep.
Imagine. Be a gangster playing. Imagine.
Comparisons.
If the same fate that befell Biggie and Tupac happened to Drake and Kendrick.
Just
and
imagine.
as messy as Drake is right now, I can almost bet that there's somebody that wants to turn his faucet off. Because if y'all think Diddy is a mess, Drake, he was being groomed to be next in line. See? What happens when the real details of what happened to XXX come out? What happens when Jonathan Hay finally starts putting all of the pieces together on why he was put in that home invasion robbery with his daughter? Because he's remembering more now. He's been talking with Truth Is here on YouTube, and he's been saying even more now than he said here. Shout out to Jonathan Hay and your bravery.
Shout out Jonathan Hay. We will get him on the couch soon because his story is one of those stories that might get lost in Hollywood if he was ever silenced.
Might get lost. He might get lost.
Exactly.
Let's make sure he doesn't.
Yeah, let's pray and protect Jonathan Hay.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move. Hey.